Good morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm assuming that you can hear me. Eventually you'll figure out. I guess you can't hear me. If you can't hear me, don't say anything, right? I have been working a little bit for about a half hour's worth of time. Let me put time on just to get started as maybe some more people come in. Thank you already for the likes. I do appreciate it. So what I did in between the two live streams is I got more of this stuff paved. And I didn't plan any more buildings. I just paved things. It's awful slow working on this Soviet symbol. I guess they're not dropping off any people there because it's not a priority for our construction. And I say that because we are having a bit of a dilemma. Let's go over to our population statistics. So if I look at the loyalty here, let's do a little bit. Let's do this year. All right, there's loyalty has been dipping. Like we're already down to like, I don't know, what's that, 14% or something? So that's not too good. I guess it's a percent. I don't know. Hey, good morning, Dennis. And so we've been losing some people. Let's go to the demographics. So you can see with the blue line is the productive age. We're like down to like a little bit over 100. So that's not real good. 113. There it is. I guess I can look up there. So now the kids is doing better. So we're not doing horrible, but we've had 26 escapes, if you see those down at the bottom there. So that's not real good. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. And again, like I said, I think it's because of the loyalty here. The happiness and the other stuff is relatively high. So we'll see. That's being worked on. I don't know if we have to ramp it up the priority a little bit. Let's take a look. I'll show you guys what we have been working on. Mostly what has been getting done, and it's slower than sin, is getting in here and building all these buildings. Now, I did put down a little tiny itty-bitty bus stop. So I guess we got the road built in there. So let me go ahead and do that. It's just like a one parking space thing, because I think what's happened in the past is that this building could get clogged up with these trucks, potentially, and then you don't have a space for the bus to pull in, and then the whole thing grinds to a halt. So I thought this might be kind of a cool little bus parking spot that won't interfere with our trucks or vice versa in any way. Not that the bus would interfere with the trucks much, but you get the idea. So other than that, we still don't have power over here to fire anything up. You can see we kind of have quite a few assignments. Not 100% sure. Let's go take a look at where's the wood to gas, right? No workers. There's no particular reason these shouldn't be going, other than I think we're just not getting enough people. We have a crane over here ready to work on it, so that's good. What would be the next thing in line? The carpenter's work shed, I think is this little guy here, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's got everything he needs. He's just not getting any people. Does he have a crane? Nah, no mechanism, but that's okay. Yeah, I think it's, some of it is this fact that it was winter time, so that's going to slow them down. And I've also been working on these roads, which isn't going to make it any easier. Now, get your guys' opinion on this. Dennis seems to be the one that's commenting, but anybody else is welcome to comment too. I'm thinking of leaving this path not graveled so that they tend to take this path, and also that they plow this path. So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never really figured this out. Like 75% of what? What does that mean? Like, because they're all 75 or 25%. That's more than 100%. So does it mean they're 75% likely to turn down a gravel road versus 25% to choose the mud road? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I don't like it overly much, because it doesn't, as I've said before, the plow trucks kind of drive me nuts in what they do. But there we go. I'm 75% on the gravel roads. We're going to get this one. They're diligently working on that road. And then we have another technical office here that will either transfer a truck or two or buy a truck or two to put in here. So I'm hoping that they take care of all of the roads in our little wood town here. Is that a name for this place? Wood Town? It's not really that far from our Revergrad 2, maybe, to have its own name, but it's certainly the wood section of town. Yeah, luck of the choice, where you're just throwing it a certain percentage. Is that what you mean, Dennis? Like it's yeah, I just wish it was less luck, more actual. I guess we can. I don't want to mess up with this, so they can drive around this way for now to get up there. So I always try to create like a bit of a bypass. I've learned when I do these things, had to put this one in so that we could get that done, and try not to ever, obviously, go past where they want to go. But I do want to like get paved, more or less, into these areas, or at least graveled, not paved. So let's just for the sake of, oops, I didn't necessarily mean to close that. Let's do this since I'm in the mode. What do we got? New vehicle type. I get right clicked instead of left click, so we'll never know what that was. Oh, there it is. Trying to do this without cutting anybody off from the things that they really want. And it went pretty well. I did repave a couple of these things here, and I do want to get in behind here and start doing some of these. These guys, they can walk around, I think, so we'll kind of cut it to where it makes sense. But I also want to make sure they can all get over to this thing. And see, there's just not many people heading there out of town, even though it says, well, now we're down to 2%. And good, our number is actually, no, that's still going down, isn't it? We need to get this thing done. 95 and 5% in this case. Okay, I can do that. Let's just take a look at all. Yeah, see, we're plunging down. Let's just do this year. Yeah, we're still getting escapes and deaths. So some of this is just a die-off, I think, is hitting at about the same time. Our escapes are shooting up, and I guess if they're not loyal, they're probably not as happy, so they're not having as many babies. So I would assume that's a thing. So really, I would say part of our mistake was building this Lenin monument that doesn't seem to give us any loyalty. So it's not that I didn't try to build a monument. Let's attach the monument. I don't know if that makes any difference, but and another thought I had was having that's a lot of construction projects, but having this bigger depot definitely makes life a lot easier than just having like a single. Having twice as many vehicles is huge in that area. And I think even in the past, I knew that I would just build. I'd be much quicker to build the second construction office, like the one we have planned up here. And this one's, oops, this one's kind of far away. But I probably would have built another closer, a little bit closer, so that we could have the two if we didn't have mods. So yeah, it's really been kind of a waiting game. I hesitate to put it on fast forward because I keep running out of money and killing people. And to be honest, I enjoy watching the trucks go by. So for me, it's been kind of fun. Oh, 95%, that's right. Let's go. All right, for now, probably, well, we don't have any of these other roads, so that shouldn't be a factor. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. That certainly makes a lot of sense. So as far as keeping things moving and keeping trucks busy, yeah, good. We got this done. Yeah, we just really need to get this done, and I think it's a matter of getting the buses and getting the people. So well, let's see, we're losing people. So, and I don't really want to buy more people quite yet until I at least see that this is resolving our loyalty issue. Is that going to be enough? Does anybody know? Is that... I haven't dealt with the loyalty mechanism in detail. Let's see what it says if we go back over there. Just right, monuments, fountains. No, say 2.8. Now I didn't. You know what? I should have looked to see if any of the mods had. None of my mods have that. So, which one did we build? I think we have the Soviet emblem here. So that should be giving us 2.8%. So I would hope that would be enough of a boost. Ooh, Lenin. Well, if it's not, maybe we'll go for this big Lenin. It should at least, you would think, stabilize it. This will give us 4.5. Yeah, see, well, there's a modded one that gives us 4.5 too. So I'm wondering if it's just a matter of my mods are out of date and I need to go get more monument mods, which is fine because I really did enjoy putting in the monuments in the river stand. Like when we moved to new river stand over there, we had like my house where the big, huge like mall of monuments was in front of it. So I did enjoy that. That was kind of a fun way to sort of end that series. So we are ready to go. There's our that's the little bus stop. I really like that. I think that could definitely come in handy. Yeah, no power supply. We're working on the power supply. How are we doing? Yeah, I think it's just a matter of people. I'm tempted to... Yeah, I was tempted to put another bus before I distracted myself. See, we only have one worker here waiting. Is that the construction bus there? Yes. Let's see, he's going to go and get himself 2 workers. Which is going to... one worker. See, that's just not enough workers. This house is completely dedicated to going to that. So let's do this. Before we get more people, I think it's worth getting a few more. Okay, so we're up to 75. So this house is now full. All going to the bus stop, which means they're going to be dedicated to either keeping us heated or keeping the construction going, right? Well, and the gravel. Now, we could talk about shutting this down. We're not quite there yet. And as a matter of fact, this hasn't gone up that much over the winter time, 950. But it's probably good to look at that because I want to keep an eye for if we're going. Hello, Potato Head McChicken. That's a heck of a name you got yourself there. Sounds like a fun name. Need at least 2 or 3 monuments? Thank you. That's doesn't surprise me. So even if you have a few people, that's kind of a... Is there any kind of visitation, like where as you get more and more people, it becomes an issue? Like this doesn't have any kind of statistics like how many people visited, because it's sort of a bit harsh if it's not related to the number of people able to visit it kind of thing. Sort of like the sports, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, we'll get the one built, and then where do you think we should put another one? We're going to have the people down here. I haven't really thought through. We have, well, where's the measuring tape thing? Here, right? So if we go from like here, height over cursor to say there, that's 700 from there, right? So we should be able to put more houses over in this area, and they would still be relatively close. Yeah, let's see, how do we... All right, if we went from there... okay, let's see how that's working. So that's like 800. All right, this is 700. 500. Yeah, so we should be plenty fine to build houses up in here. I'm wondering that because I was thinking about putting another monument like right over here. I don't want to get too far away from these people if the range matters in that sense. So let's go for the big Lenin one. All right, steel, mostly concrete. We can kind of afford that. Can't afford to be losing people either, so... it's not really that big either, is it? Will it fit in here? Not really. Will it fit next to the... No. Oh, look, it'll fit right out in front. Will it fit with a road, though? or a walkway. Yeah, there we go. Will you go to green? Oh, there we go. Well, as long as that other one's taken, I think I'll just go ahead and assign this guy right away. What do we got? Loyalty lead. Yeah, we're working on loyalty. We really are. All right, let's get that guy assigned. I won't worry about the fact his little path is not. There we go. At least our Soviet symbol's getting worked on again. Because I think our loyalty's starting to kill us. Now, the other thing, too, is you wouldn't think it would be so bad for these people that their loyalty would be crashing. Yeah, so that should definitely be in range of the citizens, I would think, right there. So, especially these would be my next 3 houses that I plan on building, so, or apartment flats that I plan on building. Speaking of which, we could do... have them work on those. I don't think so. The trucks sort of are a little bit independent of what's going on with slowing this down. I think what's slowing this down is just not enough people, and then a lot of these little road assignments, they can just use the dump truck or the bulldozer or the backhoes to get them done. We have. That is a good idea. Do we have? I thought I had that. No, I have the livestock range. Yeah, that's definitely not a bad idea. Do I have? Yeah, I think I can connect on that other side. So let's go. Industry, cargo, and storage. I guess general, right? Meat storage. Do we have any? So what's the difference there? So this is 75 meat. I've never found that the amount of meat is that big of an issue, especially you just don't deal with a ton of it. Really what we need as much as anything is a parking space for our truck at this early stage in things. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, what does that look? Oh, yeah, that's a lot more than I need, and I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but yeah, let's just go with regular old mini meat storage. All right, again, I don't think it's super critical at this moment, but it is a good idea to get that in the works, especially considering we don't have any of that built yet. So how is our farms, or how are our farms doing? Well, there we go. So we got 4 tractors out right away. How did we hold up with our corn? Oh, yeah, we got plenty of corn. That's what I was not too worried about, the fact our farm isn't functioning 110%. Look, we haven't hardly used anything. We don't have enough people. That's our problem. We got to get this loyalty thing fixed so that I can then start worrying about whether or not that we're just... I mean, I guess we should start talking about exporting some of it. I'm not sure how worth it is. We're not too far from the border. We could certainly use whatever money we can get. What do you guys think? Should I buy some trucks, some box trucks? We know we'll use them in the future. We're getting down to 415,000, which sounds like a lot of rubles, but until we actually get a ruble income, we're kind of, stuck. That's the only rubles we can get at this point. So good. We're working on the electric. I don't mind that that's getting done. The Soviet symbol. Yeah, why are they not working on these wires at all? Just no workers. Yeah, we're at the final stage there. Just a matter of workers, which I will promise you I will do as soon as I see this loyalty. Yeah, at least it's stabilized. So hopefully that'll give us a little bit more of a percentage I guess the thing to do, with even without... Yeah, see, at this point, we're going to be... This is where it would be nice to have it where you could actually say, okay, if you're full, go one direction. If you're not, go the other. Like, so, because see, this guy only has like this much. Do we just get another truck on there, I guess? Yeah, I think I buy a couple more trucks. I haven't heard from you guys that quickly, which is fine. So I think I'm going to go ahead and purchase 2 more open hauls, which we know we'll use someplace. Not open hauls, covered hauls. Covered haul. All right, this is... So your job for now will be to go from here, can't see, to here. Load grain, unload anything. Yeah, I might as well have you wait, because if nothing else, you might cause a traffic jam if you're empty, and then I'll notice the traffic jam. I don't know. All right, so you go ahead and start. Let's copy you. To him. Oops. I don't know what made me jump up like that. Let's see. Hit escape? No, I don't know. What did I hit? Did you see the way the screen just jumped straight up in the air? I don't know how to do that again. I think I accidentally hit escape button. Huh. Hello, Ronak. Welcome. How are you doing today? How's everybody doing, by the way? I know some other people seem to have come in. Welcome. We are busy building our little town up. It's taking quite a while. We got to borrow more money. We are borrowing money to try to survive until we can get a bit of income. We should be producing a little bit of food and exporting it. And that's about our only income. And I just put 2 trucks to just take corn directly to the border and to start selling that. We should be pretty well paved the whole direction. Let's go and cut this off right as we start that process, and we'll go see what that message is in a minute. Give this guy to here. So that should complete a lot of the graveling all the way over here. So for now, I'm not even going to do this because I want them to focus on plowing this one. All right, so what is our message? New vehicle. Big train. We're so far from big trains, it's not even funny. Citizens' happiness is low. Why are their happiness going down? Oh, yeah, look at that. Are we going to have a great escape again? Let's pause it for a second. No kindergarten. No staff. Yeah, we're losing people like crazy here. So why are they not happy? Unable to get food. We're just running out of people to... Yeah, we've only got 19 people in this house. Well, now we got 69. It's another way to get our loyalty up, right? It's just taking forever and a day to build this dumb thing. It's like... You would think they would just... Usually they're better about walking over there, but I guess they're all getting assigned to go here. So we just weren't getting enough people. Yeah, that's just a shame because that's costing us a lot of money every time we do that. Speaking of which, let's not go too low with our loan. So we still have $538,000 to pay back. We were borrowing about $650,000. Let's borrow $750,000, I think. Getting further and further into debt with no income. Yeah, we'll do a year. I don't think we're going to last a year, but that'll keep the interest rate lower if we do it shorter. All right, so let's pay this one back. All right, so there we go. So we now have 309,000 to extend into our... We're like the United States here, where we just keep borrowing money, more and more money to pay off future debts. Yeah, loyalty seems low. I know about that. It's exactly what the United States is doing these days. And I think a lot of countries, they're spending money and they just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing in order to be able to keep spending and spending and spending with no real hope of ever paying it off, I don't think. But we'll see. Okay, there we go. We got at least this part done, so that's one more project. Hello, Xavier. Welcome. Yeah, it's pretty nice weather here. It's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is what, like 4 or 5, but it's supposed to go up a little bit warmer than that today, but it's getting to be winter here almost. My seasons where I live is pretty close to the seasons. You know, if you talk about 4 quarters of the year, it's pretty reasonable that that's exactly what gets followed here. So as we get closer to winter, it gets colder and colder, and before you know it, we'll have snow. But we don't always get a ton of snow or anything. It's just sort of hit or miss. Unlike some parts of the United States that get it very consistently and constantly. Yeah, so hopefully that helps with the happiness. Right, we got, you know, we need to stop losing people. So they've definitely, since the last time I played, have made it much more difficult to get enough people and to keep them all happy with that loyalty. And a couple of you said in the last episode or two that you got to worry about the loyalty. And I did plop this thing down, but then I noticed that I forgot to assign it at one point there. So I forgot, or I just didn't. So I did assign that during the middle of when I was in between the live streams. Yeah, we got to get that loyalty up. Definitely a lesson learned. How's this one? We got a worker. Yeah, just slower than sin. Oh, we're doing... We could probably speed things up at this point, I think. Is there anything else? When we're working on these roads... I'm going to assign this one. See, these are all these little assignments are ones that need people, I think. Yeah, we got to get people there. So that's... How is our buses doing? Yeah, see, we just have too many buses, too few people. Like I said, we got to get this done. Okay, at least we have 6 workers there now. That should be getting done any minute. Hey, like I said, any minute. All right, so now let's just take a look at... that immediately jumped us up to 18%. So I don't know if that's enough or not, but I'll keep an eye on whether it keeps going up or if it's going down or what it is. Yeah, deaths 48. Why are we having so many more deaths than births, too? The escapes aren't helping. Is our happiness... Yeah, I think they got unhappy because nobody was at the stores. You get into these death spirals in this game. It's one of the reasons I was hesitating to put it on super fast forward. Look, that's still ticking down. Yeah, we have too many people in front of the shop. All right, now one other thing that happens is when you buy those people, of course, they all need to go get their needs met. Unable to visit the hospital. Are we losing... Oh, how many... We only have 4 educated in here. So that's another problem. Let's... And look, flats 2, we've lost... Of all those people we just throwed in, we had 75. We're now down to... It's going from bad to worse. Let's get her educated over here so they can keep Yeah, see, we only have 8 educated after all of that. It's just, yeah, it's going from bad to worse here. We're definitely, we're in a, here, we need to slow down. We need to take the time and slow down as we spiral into death, having to pump more and more people into the town just to keep it going. We only have 13 workers. I am going to purchase some high dollar. Right, I want 18 of them in there, getting our hospital going, getting everything else going. How is the happiness of the people? 52%. So they're really just nobody's happy. This people are only 36%. Why do we only have one seller? I think they're just all worried about getting their own thing going, right? So that nobody's going to work, because even though I'm dumping more and more people in here, they're all going off to say, hey, I need some shopping before I go off to work. See, like nobody's working, so then nobody's working, and it's like a death spiral that you get. Look, we got all these students. Terrible. Well, at least we got this. How is our loyalty? Our loyalty should go up just because we bought people, huh? Yeah, look, we're up to 25%, so that's good. Happiness, it's not too good, but it hasn't plummeted down quite as bad as it was a little while ago. Healthcare. Yeah, look at all those patients waiting. Yeah. I think we might have stabilized a little bit. What is the population actually doing? I mean, I know I've been buying them like crazy, but I think that, look, our happiness just ticked up a little bit. I think we're going to get past that. As more people get their needs met by going here, we should be able to get more people. Yes, City Skyline's the game. Yes, I do like City Skylines. What I didn't like about City Skylines was their DLCs. And I don't know if, I mean, everybody has their opinions on those kind of things, but I just felt like they're a little bit too DLC happy. And I understand we all need to make money and make a living, but just seemed a little bit extreme to me. So, like, once I start not getting all the DLCs, and once I feel that way about somebody, I tend to play a little bit less. I think if you were to buy the game now, it's probably well over $100 to get all the content. Like I said, I understand people need to make money, and that's just one of the things that. And again, otherwise, I think SimCity's a great game, no doubt. And that's probably why they get away with charging the money on the DLCs, right? All right, come on, happiness. Let's speed it up again. Or let's take a look before we go speeding up too much. How are we doing here? We're doing okay. Again, people are the problem. Yeah, so is that all stemming from the loyalty or the issues with loyalty? There we go. We get some people, get some of these little roads done. Yeah, exactly. It's like I said, I understand, Paula, that people need to make money, but at some point, it's just I don't know. It becomes gouging to some degree, right? And I understand I've actually bought and paid for games like the music that I would never listen to just to give people more money when I thought they deserved it. So it's not like I'm against paying people for the games that they make. Far from that. Global market price of coal ore is up. Just what we need. Since we're not making our own coal ore. Health is too low. Yeah, well, loyalty is too low. Yeah, we're working on it. Look, our happiness is now lower. Government loyalty got up to 27%. Cultural entertainment's only 47%. Yeah, we just need to get everybody stabilized here, right? So we're just not getting enough sellers, and I'm just going to keep inviting immigrants until we get past this. Yeah, see, we're down to 51 in here again. Now, the people here aren't going to help us too much because they're just going to construction anyway. But there we go. At least we're a little bit stabilized on these people here. Yeah, I think the thing we need to do is get these people happy so that they're all going to the different places to work. But there we go. Finally, we get 3 sellers. 2 sellers. Let's see, we can't have too many people sitting out in front of the shop. Let me, just for the sake of getting caught up, right? Let's increase that number of sellers. I was trying to be tight about it. Yeah, see, we have no teachers. Yeah, it's definitely, this is a tough game. And when they add new things, I think really in some ways when you think about it, the mistake I made was assuming that this Lenin monument would help with the loyalty, and it didn't. That's definitely disappointing in retrospect when we see what's happening now, you know. So and I think it's just because that mod was old and never added that to it. So how's the rest of our construction since we're just dumping people in? Yeah, no mechanism, no people. No people. Yeah, people. People's our problem. And I'm willing to step it up. I just don't want to step it up with the loyalty issue. So let's speed it up and see what happens. Our happiness got up to 56%. So we're just going to sit here and keep a close eye on all of this. And I think you know what I want to do. Do we have a footpath out this way? I want to build a footpath here so people can still get to the cinema, and then I can pave this little piece of road there. Probably, they're still coming in this way, aren't they? Yeah, I don't know if we could get a footpath. Well, no, because it's going to run into that. Like they're coming in this footpath, so I won't mess. I was going to delete that little footpath just to make that a little faster. Are there trains driving in which game, Paula? So are you talking about this game? Yes, there are rails. It's well beyond us. This game, depending on how you do it, could be a very difficult beginning progression, right? Where you just don't have enough money. I mean, if you start on easy and you self-build, but I don't usually do that. See, I'm building all this stuff with this construction office. So that makes it a lot more difficult because it takes time and you got to feed your people the whole time that it's building. So it's just the way I do this is a lot harder. So it's going to be quite a while before we're ready to get some railroad tracks going. Yes, the game that I'm playing now is called Workers and Resources. Soviet Republic Workers and Resources. So yes, there are trains, but like I said, there's the progression here. And we're just at the gravel road. We don't even have paved roads yet. And so we'll have to build a steel mill, or you have to pay to import the steel, which gets particularly expensive. Like one of our most expensive things in this economy. Let's slow it down so we don't lose track. But look, our happiness is getting up, so I'm happy. One of the things, like if we look at this year's economy, we're negative $30,000, negative 68,000 rubles. Now the rubles is from buying vehicles, but 30,000 is just our economy is going in the hole by 30,000. Now we also have this domestic production, which gives you an idea how much stuff you're producing. So even though we're going negative 30, we are producing some stuff, right? But you can see here that we're not consumption. The things we're using up are more than this 13,000 that we're making. So not only are we not exporting, we're not even building up wealth in our country yet. So it gets a lot more complicated. Hey, Radomir, welcome. Yeah, I'm glad you caught me. I've been doing this fairly regularly at this time, which for me is Sunday morning. For you guys, I guess for you, it's Sunday afternoon, of course. Probably even late afternoon by now, just about. Mid-afternoon, I would guess. But anyway, good. It's good to see you. So we are trying to build up the town here. We're getting past the population crisis. How is our other... Are we building this any quicker than we did the last one? Radomir, I learned my lesson about loyalty. Loyalty became much more important than it used to be. There we go. Good. We got this done. So what I can do... Can they get... Yeah, see, if they really want to, they can either go this way or around this way. And I don't know if they're going to be able to path. Oh, yeah, they can... Yeah, they can path quite far, but not all the way around here. But they can get in this way, so I can start... I guess I should let them finish this, right? I want to build this road before I build these houses. That'll make it a little easier. And I could probably actually do... Where is... If we're going to have houses down here, definitely want houses to be connected to the food. Let's do that, and then I can't really see what I'm doing. Right, and that guy will get connected that way. Happiness is too low. Yeah, we're working on it. We really don't need to complete any of those, but maybe I'll have them work on that. So now let's go ahead and is there going to be any difference? I don't know if they're going to be able to get any sport while this is going on. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and... Oops, that's not really what I meant to do. Yeah, I didn't think that would be connected. All right, so I have to keep an eye on that, get that one going as soon as the other one's done. Because, yeah, they're not going to have any way to get to sport until that one's complete. Oh, I caught my bus in there. Of course, it's the construction office bus, the one bus I wouldn't want to have caught out. I guess that's what you get for just not paying attention, huh? See you, Paula. Have a good day. One problem after another, but we're getting our happiness, back. Sport, entertainment, clothing quality. big thing I think that was making them completely unhappy was not having enough sellers. All right, so I think I'm just going to keep these numbers up. All right, how many? No overeducated, not overeducated. College educated people are overeducated, right? The overeducated people are good to go. How's our gravel doing? Yeah, look, we're using up a lot of it, which is good. We want to make it and use it. I want to free the bus. Yeah, I really can't do it. I was wondering if they could. I guess they won't go through. I know sometimes they'll drive on these paths to go there. I'm thinking I should probably put another footpath this way. Nothing else that'll look better. Come on. All right, I think that'll look. That way it'll give them a chance to get into the store without having to go all the way down here. I don't know. Then if I do any crazy stuff, they'll be able to get there. Yeah, now I've really ground construction to a halt, having put that bus in there. Is there going to be a mechanism? Nah, I'm going to need people. Yeah, I think I may just pay for this. There. Bus, you should be free to go. Yep, there you go. Right, because we're going to need people there. I don't even know if they were going to go there without that bus. But rather than fight with it, now let's just assign this guy. Good. All right, so we should talk about what is our next construction project, right? We're going to get this all fired up. And I was asking you guys that at the end of the last one. Let's take a look just for something to do while we're waiting on that other stuff. So this is where we're at over here. What do we have in this area? We have sparse amount of coal, probably maybe even a half decent amount of coal kind of right in front of me. Let's go see. Yeah, it's barely turning the thing yellow. It's certainly not the greatest. Now there is... Here, let's shrink that down a little bit. All right, there is good coal. This is where we had some coal over here. See, we got some green spotches of coal all the way over here, which isn't that far away, right? So we come in here and get coal. Now the other thing, maybe a little harder to see, but we have some iron. This is what we did in the last time. Our first steel mills were over here because there's more coal, but there's also metallurgy, iron mine. See how we also have like iron right here? So we could do steel in this area. Let's see where other... And we also have iron over here. And splotches of coal up in this area. Oop, that's oil. Now the other thing, I think that's... Man, where was the coal? Further ahead. Yeah, that's kind of getting... Not far away, but... I think the thing that's most tempting to me, to be honest, is this. Is this rather massive thing of oil should not be ignored. Right? That's all a big oil field right there. And to me, if it's about surviving, especially with the amount of debt we have, I'm thinking that we plop down some oil. If nothing else, we can drive it right to the border, you know? See if you guys... Hey, Steve Henderson. Welcome. Yeah, it's been a long time. Well, we're going to do our best to pull it out, right? I think I got caught unawares of this loyalty thing. That's, you know, that's one of the things. Like, I guess what would have happened in the past is that I was in the know and I was actively playing. So even when they did updates, I figured it out very quickly. So my problem has been that they've done a lot of updates. So there's some things that like that haven't happened before. And then the other big dynamic that I didn't really have to struggle with at the beginning of those other maps was the fact that we didn't have the snow. And that snow makes a massive difference at that point. So the good news is that we've got our happiness recovering. Let's take a look. Yeah, our loyalty came up to whatever percent that is, like 30%, I guess. Is there a way to tell how many percent it actually is? No, not exactly. But anyway, like 33%. So hopefully by the time we get done this statue, which is going to give us like 4.5%, right? So the other one's only giving us 2.8 and is getting us up to here from like 10 or 15. So I have a feeling that if the math stays the same, this other monument should get us sufficient loyalty, I think. Our sports is suffering, and I think that's because we only have this one. We'll have to deal with that too, the sports and the culture. But I think a lot of that stuff suffered too because we just didn't have the people here. Right? Like it's still just, we're still just, seems like we're losing more than we're gaining. All right, 10 more in there. Good, we're maintaining them in here well enough. Now, do we have any educated to switch? No. So how is our education doing? Well, I don't like that we have students in the schoolyard, but how many do we have here? Only 13. Yeah, we need a few more than 13 to really get by. How is our... Yeah, we have professors, of course, over there. It would be nice if the game was smarter to balance these things out, but at least we have professors going. We have doctors. We have school teachers. Well, now the problem is no staff. Let me slow this down so I don't lose control for a second. We read Radomir's comments. Okay, so you have to kind of take care of everybody at once. Like, in other words, so if you have a lot of little cities, it's not going to be good enough to just ignore them until you get to that spot. That's kind of interesting. Bauxite. Yeah, let's see. Let's see where bauxite is on our... So bauxite will be on the closest one. Let's slide over here. Yeah, the closest bauxite is going to be kind of right in front of me now. Where'd it go? Why doesn't it light up this thing? Oh, there we go. Well, it looks a lot better on the map than it does. Oh, there we go. There's the green spot. So bauxite is like right over in this area. All right, I'm even going to plop that guy down just as a reminder as to where it's at. Which is not too far away. A little more hilly in between us and it. Like I said, so the other options, oil here, bauxite here. And we do have like tiny bauxite and tiny processing and aluminum plant. Yeah, let's take a look. How does bauxite... current prices... 62. It's not a huge amount of money. What does just regular oil get us? Oops. 22. So yeah, it is a good thing. I mean, I guess it's very comparable. Now, I guess the only other thing is how much bauxite. Like, I'm assuming you have to do that in a dump truck. How much bauxite does a dump truck hold? So you could do 25 raw bauxite, or if you even refined it to bauxite, is 25. And then an oil tanker, it's not much different than that. I think this cistern I used a lot, that only holds 13. Yeah, so you could definitely see where the bauxite would be a good thing to get that. Not that I doubted you, Radomir, but I can definitely see that for myself as well. What do we got? Stopped production. Yeah, that is just still an issue. Do we put everything back together over here? Yeah, making sure. Well, we don't have... Oh, no, we do have the footpath. Well, you got 5 workers incoming. And I should have 3 buses going back and forth. Where's the third one? There he goes. Yeah, so I think it's just a timing issue on the bus stop where we get too many buses coming in at once. Now, how are we doing on our food production? Well, we don't have any sitting here. How are we doing, more importantly, I guess you could say, on our food exporting? Making sure we're not importing it as well. Let's do this year. Export. So we're exporting crops, making 5,000. Gravel. Yeah, alcohol. There we go. That's right. So we turned off our exporting of the food. So that's good. So that's the fact that we just have a little bit of food and that we're not, let's make sure we're not importing any of it. No. That's page 1 of 1. So yeah, so we didn't import any food. So we have that pretty nicely balanced where we're just exporting the alcohol. And I'm not sure that it even makes that much more sense to export alcohol versus food when you're this close to the border. I think it's more an issue of how much the fuel costs to get there, but when you're this close, I don't think it's going to save you a whole lot in particular. So there we go. So our little food thing is working out pretty well. And then we should be exporting a little bit of the gravel. And we're gaining on this so that we might be able to export a little bit more with another dump truck. So does anybody else have an opinion on our first or next thing we could start planning out? Let's take a quick look at our construction projects here. Are we? Yeah, so that one still needs to go. This one, I don't want to do too much till we build this guy. We seem to be fully recovered from our 13% unemployment. That's kind of good at this moment. Where are they, in here, or I'm able to get meat and cannot enjoy culture? Well, we got you a new footpath that's good to go. No, I think it's probably time to talk about building a new... What? What do you mean? Oh, is that not... Oh, it's not completed. Well, that looks awful completed, doesn't it? It faked me out. And why isn't it lit in green? Right? Aren't they normally lit in green if they're... Yeah, that's kind of... Did I somehow unassign those? No, I didn't unassign them. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, there you go. So we're back to assigning those. I'm not sure how... Oh, did it unassign because I paved this, maybe? So it couldn't get to those, so it knocked them off the list? Yeah, I'm not sure what you said there, but I'm assuming it means, look for yourself. Well, it's not of all people, Radomir, I'd obviously trust you, and at the same time, I like to look, just see that it makes sense, show everybody else that it makes sense, and especially on the internet. You're right, because a lot of people are going to be giving advice that when they don't exactly know exactly what they're talking about. And a lot of things are just opinion. I've found it's not a matter of, it's just like I tend to play it my way. I'm sure other people play it theirs, and it's all good. We're having fun. So I think maybe we'll get another dump truck to run the route, just because we need money coming in, and we are building up on that, and it's not like another dumper is going to hurt us in any way, shape, or form. So if we could find the dumper that's going down, I wouldn't mind just copying that route, even though it's a little bit wasteful. He might be the only one on the road, right? Yes, he is. So this route is taking stuff to the asphalt plant, and then the concrete plant, or that's asphalt and then concrete plant, and then over to the border. So we'll export a little bit more, because I don't want to keep this. I want to keep this flowing. The people that are getting up here, it's a nice amount. When we start upping our gravel game, we'll be good to go. All right, so let's talk about building something more. So we do something a little bit where I'm going to probably end the stream at about 11 or so, just so you guys know. 2 hours today. I was hoping to get done early, or get started earlier. All right, so if we're going to go over there, how do we get there? And I'm wondering if we don't do the oil first on our way to the bauxite. So just because of the hill, trying to get up over this hill is a bit of a thing where I'm kind of liking the idea of, do we build another little town? Well, if we build a town in here, we would want to stay away from this oil and the bauxite. And again, we could maybe do like a little bauxite town right on this flat spot, right? It's a shame we got such a hill. Not that the hill's the end of the world, but I think the last time we came through was like here, right? Just trying to look to see what makes sense in the general area. Yeah, because this is all pretty steep, hilly. I like that. Well, we are going for, keep this in mind too, as you think about that, Mike, and welcome, Mike. Glad to see you here. The import wood to go to fuel, right? So this is Importski wood gas conversion plant. So we're going to turn the little bit of wood we're making, or hopefully it's going to be enough. We'll turn that into fuel and hopefully be self-sufficient in that respect. It's just taken forever and a day because we're having more population issues. I'm not sure when you joined us, but cement is good to do if we did coal, and I have no problems. I was mentioning, coal over here is this is probably one of the better coal places. I think everything's taken me in this direction, because I think honestly, even if we did this, we could talk about, I think the big issue would be, how do we get people there, right? And stay away from the refinery and the mess. 'Cause I know there's iron here. There's a lot in this valley. That's why I originally started here way back when with the first series, is the map hasn't really changed. And we got oil, we got iron, we got coal. Now that they've added bauxite, we have, I just put this where bauxite is right there. So why don't we work towards like both, right? There's no reason we can't. We're going to have to get a whole town built up. Where is 400 from here? Right, that's about where the edge of the oil. Oh, look at that. Let's delete all the points. It's nice that it tells you the height. Wouldn't it be better if it told you the distance? So let's see. So the air distance there is 561. Right, so, and the oil, yeah, the oil ends, in that ballpark. So if we weren't any closer than this hill, we're not going to be close to where even this pollution. How much pollution does a pump jack have? Yeah, it's a fair amount. It's nowhere near the refinery, but I do remember that these pollute more than I thought they should. If you ever saw one of these pump jacks, like there are, around the United States, you'll see pump jacks like that in places, and they're running, and there's really no pollution involved with that. It's just a pump, pumping the oil from deep in the ground. It's no different than a water pump at that point, unless it's spewing stuff all over the ground, which it doesn't. Now, the oil refinery, on the other hand, that's a different can of wax. So, yeah, let's talk about, could we how far can we ship people to work here? That's the other big question. Like, staying far enough away from this oil, because I could definitely see us putting, like, the refinery in whatever other tanks, like maybe up in here. Yeah, I really think that we should do it two separate. That would be interesting. Potato Head. It feels wrong calling you Potato Head, but I guess that's what you asked for, right? But yeah, Potato Head. It's that sounds interesting. I'm not opposed to anything small when it comes to this little playthrough here, this learning experience. Like, all this stuff is all little stuff that I'd like to get done. There, good. Our happiness is up to 78%. How's our loyalty generator? Well, we're still working on it. Still have a lot of time left. How is our people? I'm just going to keep this house full. All right. This one is pretty much full. And we got an educated one, so let's stick them in here. That was our educated. Good. We got 18 educated. Hopefully we actually see that number going up as well. Let's just look at our population. There you go. Well, I just bought people, so let's do, yeah, it's May. Yeah, you can see where I've been buying people to keep our population going. But it is working. All right, we've got our happiness back up. And I think the satisfied is what took down their happiness. They stopped becoming satisfied because I just didn't have enough people, and then it got worse and worse from there. Same thing with the health once I lost people. Loyalty, and I think it was all stemming, at least in part, because we were getting extra escapes because of our lack of loyalty. Look at all those escapes that we've had. So yeah, I think it's really my lack of understanding the loyalty. Well, okay. Well, I could certainly appreciate you allowing yourself to be named Potato Head by your son. Few people could call me Potato Head and get away with it, right? Kind of thing. But that's great. Good for him. And I'm glad he enjoys the videos, All right, so what do we do? Do we do both? Well, let's see. We've already got this kind of marked out. I do want to get some we got construction going, but I want to keep my trucks go. So this is going to give a good use of gravel for a while to get us built out to there. So let's go start talking about, do you guys agree that if we're going to do this, what I don't like is until we have trains and where I could really send people on trams, until I have like a good amount of steel and it's not going to cost me a fortune, I'm thinking that we can head in both directions, especially if it just comes to like getting gravel roads going for now. We would have a town somewhere over by here, even maybe on the hill a bit, and then we'd have refinery just far enough away from the town that we could bus some people over there, and the pump jacks don't need people at them. And then I'm thinking we have another, reasonable area right here that could be a town with at least a mini bauxite industry. Maybe eventually it becomes a bigger, complete aluminum kind of area there. And then the only issue I have is how do we get up there in a reasonably... This just seems like it's too much trying to get over that hill. We could try to squeeze up over there. Of course, we could do mountain leveling, but I'll try to avoid that. Now, the first time I ever played, I did drive up and over here to get into there. But then eventually I just abandoned this road for the most part because it was like the only thing we ever did was a few exports would go this way. Yeah, so maybe we build a road like up here just seems like a fair way to do it, right? Let's just lay it out with dirt for now. And where would we go? Where would we start? Yeah, I guess down here. We'll just come right off of there, right? If we can. No. Is it because we're right near that turn of that? Oh, there we go. Oh, was I hitting that? That was a little weird. Not getting too... Just smooth that out a little bit anyway. All right, where are we going? Kind of right around that hill, right? How does that look? Kind of reasonable. Right, a little bit steep here, but not really. Like, I think that's kind of more realistic than going right through the hill. Oh, I need an excavator. Okay. Unfortunately, they give us mountain goat mode. Oh, can't really see for the trees, and I think I'm going right off the side of a cliff. Yeah. Yeah, I think I need to go a little bit more this way. All right, so we'll just drive right over to that mine if it lets us. It's kind of a hill right in the middle. We'll get rid of that hill eventually. Oh, I saw a little green. Didn't really put that the right way either. Now this is completely subject to change. That goes without saying, I think, but oops. All right, so let's go back and just see. How are we doing? 82% happy. Good. Making sure I'm not ignoring the rest of the world. And all right, so what do we want? Fossil fuels, metallurgy, bauxite. Oh, little mini bauxite, right? Okay, so we have. Well, that's a refinery. Sorry. That's the mine. That is a little mine, isn't it? How much is this going to get us? Source quality. There we go. We're getting more. Yeah, it seems like 70. Let's try to get. I'll try to get as close up this way as I can, right? Without. Now, this is all good here, isn't it? Right, because that way, in case we build a bigger one later, I think 60%, and it's out of the way, like it's off to the edge, so that we could build back into there, and that'll be kind of nice. So now, we built and leveled up to about this point, right? So we should be able to get a little construction office. I forget where they put the construction office. All right, so I think just a standard run-of-the-mill construction office will be good. All right, especially if we can just like not, because I think this will be a good place to, we can get it to be green. All right. Now we can have this. I don't think we need a gas station at this point. And let's see, can I spin you around and you go over here? I did see it flash green over there, but I was hoping to get a little closer to the road. Yeah, there we go. So that's... All right, so we'll... get all that paved. All right, so there we go. All right, let's see how we're making out over here. Let me do this. What is our message? New vehicle type. Another train. That would be nice, but... See, we go quite a ways without ever running out, and then all of a sudden something happens. Now, the other thing I think I want to do, because we've been buying all those people, is let's build another house. But I also we need to finish this stuff up. This has been, what, well over an hour, and we're still not done building these things. Yeah, and I don't even think it's sent anybody over there, to be honest with you. How are we looking? Yeah, 2 people waiting. We just have a lot of buses in and out of here. We need to get our people up, right? And Steve is, yeah, as far as me struggling goes, I think I like it. I mean, that's the fun of this. Like, is that it's just a stupid city building game, yet it's not, Like, it's... truly difficult at times to balance everything and get everything working in the right direction. And it doesn't take much in the way of mistakes. Like, you just missed the loyalty thing and you're not paying enough attention to it, where you don't know exactly how it works. The next thing you know, you're death spiraling again. So it looks like we're in pretty good shape as far as the death spiral goes. Let's take a look at our... A little curious about the education. Let's do, this year. I could probably, let's go faster while we wait. Yeah, so we're creeping up on the university educated. I'm not sure if that's because I bought people or not, but at least we're not going down. We got 20 of them, and I think that's up from what we had before. So, are any of them? No, none in there. None in there. Okay, good. They're all in the. It says 20, but sometimes I think it's because we must have educated someone. That's how we got the 20, because they're like 18-year-olds that are college educated, but they're not out in the workforce yet, type thing. So that's a good sign. So we are educating people in our little. We are getting them educated. How about all those people that were sick? Good. Well, they either died or we got them all treated. So at least they're not piled up in the hospital anymore. And our happiness is way up. So that's good. And eventually we want to get them some more sports, no doubt. Let's take a look at our economy for last month. Oh, look at that. We have a plus on dollars. That's a very good sign. I mean, we're not plus because we bought some vehicles, but, when it comes to, this was the import. Yeah, our big import was fuel, and Mike mentioned getting fuel, so we're doing that. And that's, by the way, Mike, that was not a criticism. I see your next comment. Still catching up. That's fine. And believe me, people miss episodes, I understand, or miss the live streams and didn't watch every minute of every episode. Or even if you do, like a lot of times I am playing my own game, I completely forget to pay attention. Like you get engrossed in your own game and you realize, well, man, that guy's video just went by and I didn't even catch half of it because I was in my own little video game world, right? That happens to me quite a bit too. Oh, yeah, I watched it. Yeah, right. You didn't watch 2 minutes of it, hardly. How are we doing on paving this? Yeah, see, this is nice big use up the gravel. Let's keep an eye on that gravel. I don't want to accidentally export it all. It's just, I don't know, we're still good. Even though we've got these construction projects going and that extra dump truck, it still hasn't taken us down. Right, so let's take a look at, we didn't look at the exports from this is just 1 month, right? So exports to the Western countries. Yeah, crops 3,000, alcohol 2,000. Look, only 6 tons of that. So, like I said, I don't think. Look, if I remember the prices, and you can do the math like on a spreadsheet if you wanted to get that particular about it. But I think the benefit to exporting the alcohol would be if you were further from the border. So if we start exporting it to the Soviet, which is quite a distance away, I think that's when it's really going to pay off to be transporting less, right? Because you're going to need less trucks to go that whole distance. Where really the food, takes 6 tons of crops, and by the time you don't get twice as much, you don't get as much per the alcohol, if that makes sense. There goes production stopped on that heating plant again. It's not even winter time. It's middle of June and we're still producing. It would be nice if you could shut that thing off during the summer, right? And just not even have people want to go there. They would just divert to some other place to go work. But anyway, so that's good. That's excellent. That's not going to get us out of the hole, but it shows you that when we're not doing a lot of building, that we're at least not going too much further deep. Oh, look at this. We actually have a crane moving down here now. That's good. Oh, with 1 person. Isn't that great? No people. But at least we made a little tiny bit of progress on that. Yeah, the people thing is, yeah. Well, let's see. We'll build this other house. I don't want to fill them up too much. Right. Speaking of our population, how are we doing? Oops, let's do this year. Yeah, we're really just not having that many babies. Oh, we got our Lenin statue done. So it does. I wish it should tell you that it's giving you loyalty. So let's see. How does the loyalty? It didn't make a difference on the loyalty, did it? So what other things give us loyalty? I mean, I know the TV station does, right? But we're kind of a little ways off from Does a party headquarters? Doesn't really say what they do, does it? You would think a party headquarters would give you more loyalty. Yeah, it's not saying anything about loyalty on the secret police. For tourism. Yeah, see, these give you culture. Yeah, from what I understand, the television station, so it's really not telling you what gives you loyalty. The problem with the television station is it's just way too expensive for us. Even the radio station is just way too expensive. Should probably look for some mods for like you would think a radio station. I mean, you could make a little radio station. Like, that's not that expensive, to be honest. You know, like to have a radio station. A television station, I could picture it would be more expensive. Certainly, it's a whole nother level of broadcasting equipment that you need expense-wise. But a radio station, heck, they have pirate radio where guys start radio stations for $10,000. You know, like, and then get in trouble for it. Yeah, people have mentioned 300 workers. Yeah, I was at that. The problem that I had was that I let the loan run out, which I probably should just redo that again right now. Once I let that loan run out, that sort of started this whole downhill spiral. Though I think I would have got caught by I would have gotten caught anyway by the loyalty, though it just didn't make it any better that I ran out of money. Yeah, so you see what we went. This is a good way to tell how much more you went into debt. So we can talk about being a little bit ahead. But at the end of the day, 0. Good. We did go another 40 grand or something into the hole. So there is that, right? But that's good. It's a good sign that we're actually producing a little bit of stuff, even if it's just to eventually get these American dollars not to keep skyrocketing like they are, you know. Now we need to also get enough to do some actual exports of something that's worth a good amount. So that's where we'll see who wins the race, right? We'll start getting a town built over here so we can get this bauxite going. We can get another town built over here to get some oil going. I'm reading your comment. Okay, that's good to know. Low-level people can screw up your nation and make people leave. Okay, so we get the secret police going. Now, do we have like a secret police? Yeah, so we need to get that secret police. We don't have a modded secret police. Plenty of technical services, pollution monitoring. Yeah, that's not too bad, really, is it? I mean, it takes some workers, but we should probably definitely consider getting a secret police sooner than later. I mean, it's not the most expensive thing that we could purchase for helping keep people in line. I have no problem with keeping the population in line after everything's going on. Good, we got another house for them, well on its way to the last stages. Certainly seem to prioritize some things over others. Maybe it's because they're closer. But we're actually getting here. Look, there we got another bus of people. Hopefully it brings somebody. Yeah, one guy. How is our house that's providing workers to the bus stop doing? 72. So the population, I think, actually even went up. So I think we're getting a little bit past the worst. Now, do we have any educated to move? No. And this one's got 69, so no education people, 12. That's a bit of a problem. Did I accidentally buy third world immigrants. They might have. But there you go. 91 happiness. Yeah, we're back in business. Hopefully we can maintain it from this point forward and not have anything else happen. Did our loyalty hasn't really changed that much with our next statue, so yeah, it's really just not going up more, I don't think, because of that statue. So I'm wondering if like there's a limit on how much statues, or like in other words, once you have the effect of a statue, does it, like having two might not be compounding. It might just be, oh, you got enough of statue loyalty, you know. Hey, Ritz, Matt, how you doing? Welcome. Okay. Yeah, well, I think the population's a little bit weird with the whole. If you start looking into the details of the people, and it seems like only one person has a kid, but I know what you're saying. If something that can help you prevent the death spiral from being quite so bad, that's good to know. I don't think we're ready for an orphanage quite yet, though it does make sense that that could help rescue your population in a good way. There we go. So we're building the roads pretty nicely. Is that causing our... Yep, I would expect that to cause the gravel to go down. So we might want to consider pulling that truck off, you know, until we get a bit more of the roads built. Now this guy's kind of full. Let's see if I can't take a dumper and take him off that thing, but I take this roller. All right. Send him over there. Let's wait for a dump truck to come back up from the... Where are you going? Yeah, see, one of these two. So they're both... What's this guy doing? Okay, yeah, you know what? You can... Why don't you join work there, since we're starting to haul stone further anyway? So are you going to just turn around for me? Yeah. Good. So he'll head back to there. So we just, you know, we're not going to be paving any roads. The only reason I had it was for these. Did we get them all done now that I think about it? No, of course not. Right. I put it in there to get these things done faster, and we still have one of them. That's all right. What else can we take out of there that we might not be using? I don't know. We just won't worry about it too much. There's that dumper. So we'll see if he heads right out to get some more gravel, not exported, and then we'll worry about that. What is this? That's our pitch. Yeah, so I'm rather get these done. This is already taken. I mean, this is an hour and a half, and I started them an hour or a half hour before. Like I started them in the last live stream, and they're still not getting done. We're barely getting there. Yeah, that's the stop production again. Yeah, keeping heating plants. That's another thing that's been... I mean, the whole winter thing is harder, but, you know, definitely keeping this heating plant running is a thing, you know? That's definitely also harder. Yeah, we're going to get to the point where we're expanding. We're getting up to 240 people. How does that look? All right, actual population. Yeah, it's starting to grow on its own again. Demographics. Yeah, look, there comes some babies. So we'll be in good shape. See how that babies is up to like 30? So it was down at like 10 or 20, 15. That's what we need, because that'll really start upping the number of children, and then we'll be past the whole thing. Look at all those escapes, though. That loyalty killed me, no doubt. And I don't know if it affects the birth rate, but it certainly didn't help in any way, shape, or form. So good. So we're back in business. I think we're surviving. We'll get our keep an eye on these roads. Yeah, these are almost done. All right, so we'll get the next one assigned. Good, that's up to 88%. I think I just need to calm down on... And this, by the way, is the benefit to having... Like when I go to build these construction offices, one of the problems is they're going to want to send workers to this road. And I don't want workers. I just want the vehicles to be able to build these roads. So when I first send this guy out here, I'm going to send like trucks. Let's do this. All right, so that's being built. And I need to get power. Oh, no, I don't. Well, I don't need power out here if I don't want them to get fuel out here, but I kind of want them to get fuel out here. So we'll talk about what we do with the power. In any event, we'll just send the trucks out here so we can pave without having to take away people to get... I don't want people to be assigned to this. Yeah, I guess we could decrease the number of workers, right? Yeah, let's see if we put that on 0, if that is another solution, huh? Maybe even a smarter one. Okay, we're done this. Yeah, let's do the same thing here, right? Let's just see if this one... We'll come back and get this guy assigned as well. There we go. We got that built. Nobody's moved in yet. That's okay. How are we doing? Down to 17. 0. Yeah, we got one. Let's keep the educated over here so they're assigned to the right places. Focus them where they needed the most. Because I don't think they're smart about where they go to work in particular, are they? Never struck me as being... Like you'll need more teachers, and they'll be off doing construction work, kind of thing. Like this, we need more doctors, but you know if they're not assigned to this. Yeah, so let's take a look at the education for this year. Can we tell? It's you know it says we have. Where does it say 22? So we're not seeing them in our population. So that means we are educating kids relatively quickly enough. There you go. See, when we get 6 students in there, that's good. Yeah, so I'm definitely thinking that the loyalty is capped with this, like that you just can't just build like 100 statues and then have 100% loyalty. You probably can get more from the various different loyalty giving things like a state police secret police. It's kind of a big building, isn't it? Now, if we build it here, does it have an effect in other towns? Right, like maybe we put it over here. Then again, it could be like more secretive over here, right? In the woods. I think we're too close to that. Yeah, let's level out a little area for it. Let's bring it down. Yeah, little hidden behind the thing, like out of the way, like you know, we'll put some trees up here so that we can't see it. That way, because otherwise you could just see who's going in and out too easily. I still think that's close enough that people could walk there. It doesn't pollute, right? I wouldn't think. Let's get rid of that little bit and then we'll... Really? I was trying to make it a little bit of a sharp turn so that we could hide where people can even see, right? There we go. So now let's get the construction guys working on that. Yeah, we'll do a few. All right. I think that, yeah, there's power's going to be close enough to it. But speaking of power, yeah, we do need to work out. Now, is this guy, let's work out this one first. Did we get power run over? No, I think I have this, yeah. So that runs all the way out over there, which is fine. And we could run that back in. Do we have another? Yes, let's do this. Because eventually we're going to need this anyhow, so we'll just plan it out for the moment. Yeah, that's the highest one. Oops. All right, and then this. Now, that I'm going to just leave alone for now. But like, you get the idea. We're going to run that power into there. So then the other question is getting power. All right, how far away from this guy can I be? Like there. I don't know that that does me any good to be this far away, but it should be attached. So now let's get another. Just going to do a little tiny wire there. And then, all right, I guess just up and over this hill. Up and over this hill to like here. All right, and then can I get a road? Off of here. Oop, what happened there? Now, am I not paying attention and the whole world's on fire and I just don't see it because I'm in construction mode? Happens to me more often than I would like to admit. All right, so yeah, let's pause it for a second. We're going to auto construct this, cancel wires. All right, let's then, no, I put the road the wrong way. Hopefully that won't be an issue in a second here. All right, so let's commit to all of that. Then we need to go find. All right, good. Now, yeah, that should all be one big, huge project, I hope. Then let's attach this somehow. Can I get under here? I kind of tend to doubt. Oh, yeah, I could. Good. Run that right past there. All right, good. So now we can get working on power. Then we got another switch here. And then we need to get this little road connected. Nice. So then we can continue on with our power once we actually start designing the city. And how much do these... Well, we're going to end up with production here. So this might be not too far from where the city goes. We may... Right, like if... Let's just assume we're going to put construction stuff on the other side of these trees, right? Right here, where those little bushes are. Tape measure. All right. Oop, let's get rid of all the markers. Yeah, see, that's 500 feet between those, or meters, whatever. So if we want to stay in the ballpark of 400 away, yeah, we should be okay. We'll right in the neighborhood of where this is. We might have to do some leveling, but it would be kind of a... I think we could get away with it a little bit closer. Jam up that stuff a little further this way. We maybe put our town. Let's do this so we remember at the beginning of the next one. All right, so we'll kind of put a town right there. Something like that. Let's get rid of all those markers. Okay, I do remember that Potato Head. I'm so used to the original way the road's built that I just tend to do that, but yes, we'll say it. A lot of this stuff I'm kind of considering somewhat, it's not temporary, but it's, you know, it's just not the most permanent thing, right? Like, as so much stuff is going to change. This is all just sort of getting us going, oh, look at this. We still don't have the power lines done. Incredible. But that's good. We got this. Let's see how is our construction office doing. Good. We don't have too much more assigned. I think we need to assign more stuff. So that means we got this road done. Good. We're moving right along with the roads. Get that road assigned. And then we need to get this in particular done. But really, we want these power lines, which are already assigned. And we need this refueling station. But yeah, we really need those power lines to get done. Right there. So let's hang out. My pants aren't going to catch on fire if I stay a little bit past 11. I just, like normal, want to get some things done on a relatively nice day. And I spent the earlier part of the morning doing a Railroads Online thing. So let me take a real quick break here, and I will be right back. I think this... Are we in pretty good shape? Let me just move it to the slower speed, and we'll leave it running and hope for the best for a minute. I'll be right back. All right, did I miss anything exciting? I know that probably wasn't even a minute, but something that had to be done, especially since I decided to stick around till we get some of this fired up a little bit. So what do we need to get this going? Well, we're going to need a truck at least to pull stuff from here, right? So let's go get wherever the heck it is. Let's go get a covered haul. I mean, our open haul. All right, and this, I probably should have left that open because we're going to need more, right? So your job's going to be to come here. I think I remember in the past that I needed to... You're going to load up wood. And unload. Might as well put it on wood. And I'll have you wait, but I think this is where I remember maybe we can use a little tiny cargo kind of thing, because I think that this jams up. All right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a road cargo station. So is this stations for 6, 4? Yeah, I don't think I... This thing, station for 2. This might be nice. Right behind our bus stop. I saw, yeah, let's do it right where it attaches. Can I get you? There you go. I said I did the little scroll wheel thing. I think it was fine the way it was. All right, so let's, yeah, we'll commit to that. And then we'll get this guy working on that. Yeah, because I think it's going to be fine to start, but as we ramp this thing up, we're going to have wanted that. Now, the other problem I have... Yeah, let me do that and that. Right, and that. Did it not... Oh, is that guy not... Oh, he's already assigned. Sorry. I did assign him. So is everything over? I'm not worried about the tanks quite yet. We'll do those in good time, but get it to build everything else first. And this isn't hypercritical. Is our power done? Oh, good. Yes, and we have power over here. So yes, we can really start doing the thing, right? So we're going to need another bus, which should be... We're going to end up probably with 2 of them, but... Okay, so you can start because... Are you waiting? Let's just wait on starting him. We might as well get... How about the Kavaz that I bought by accident? How many does the Kavaz do? I guess we come in here and see. That's right. This is one of the modded buses. That's, yeah. Let's try the Kavaz for this, right? We'll just start with 1 to get going. Your job will be to go from here to here. And when it comes to loading, yeah, just load there. Don't take anybody, but yeah, don't even take educated people. As far as that, you can just unload, though I don't think unload makes any difference that I've ever experienced personally. All right, so there. Now the other thing, we should probably get another bus. Did we get another Kavaz? Maybe a little bit bigger bus to do. How many do we need here? 65. Bet you this is going to be in line with the other. Gravel, wood, fossil fuels, coal. Where is it? I thought this was where it was. It's not there. It's not there. Wood cutter outpost. Hmm. For construction. I just don't think of asphalt plant, I guess, for construction, but it is, right? Sorry about that. Asphalt. But I still didn't actually find it. I'm looking for my bitumen plant. Mod. Wood pitch extraction. There you go. 60 workers. As if it even really mattered that much, because I kind of guessed that it was going to be in line with this. So let's say that we want like a regular old big bus to do that. And even if we just buy it right now, that'll be good. All right, probably something faster than slower. Like a SKD. It's a lot more expensive, but this one's 90, and then the other, oops. Yeah, so this guy's 80, carries 30 people, but I'd rather have the bigger, I think, and even if that, all right, this guy carries 82, 52, 40. Yeah, let's go with 52. We're nowhere near having 52 people, right? So at this point, that's a bit of a dream in its own right. In the oil. Okay. Thank you. All right, so new stop. Our already overloaded bus station. Then you're going to make your next stop out here. Yeah, don't take educated people for now. Though I wonder if I shouldn't leave that on, huh? Because in the future, we're going to have a lot of educated people. Yeah. We'll leave it off for now. And I guess we should probably... Well, let's see some wood come in here. And then we'll start that guy up. Oh, look. Oh, we got some workers. So there goes some wood. So that means we can... Let's get this guy going. And then I wanted to... I really don't like this roof on this thing. What are you? You're a mixer. You know what? Why don't you come over here for a minute? And then you... Let's let him get out of there in case there's an issue. You can come over here. All right, and that way we can pave this with that. Or roller it. I guess that's all part of paving it. How are we doing here? Are we not assigned? Yeah, we're just taking a while. I guess because we have other roads ahead of that. Our dump trucks are fully busy right now, which is good. That's what we want. How's our gravel? Yeah, look, we're already down to 500. So good. That's why we're making it, to use it. The more we're using it from there, the less we're purchasing it from the outside world, the better. It's true of everything at this point. Speaking of that, how is the old economy from... Did we move another month forward? Oh, look, we're about to... Let's just wait. So this month should be pretty good. We're minus 2,000. But let's see how much... Let's let one more day click by, and then we'll look at last month. It'll be a full month. When you watch it, it takes forever. Otherwise, the days click by quickly. There you go. So last month, so we brought in 4,000 approximately. Crops and gravel, no alcohol, so interesting. And then, yeah, steel is a killer. And fuel, there's Mike suggesting coming back. Good one. All right. power, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But then that's also part of what we talked about was if we can make enough fuel with this thing, the next thing would be a fuel to power station. Definitely see that in our future. Probably not too far away, right? We could even maybe attach this tank right up to it. We got our bus stop bringing some people up here. What are you doing? You're bringing gravel to that road. Huh? Oh, the factory connection up here. Oh, because you're connected. Okay, yeah, we can get into it from this side. Yeah, we got 1.9 tons of wood. Did we get any into here yet? No, you know what, let's... So, sometimes it's hard to tell which line you're on, but there we go. So we got the right... Only allow wood into there, and then this one is only going to allow boards. Good. This is getting built nicely. We are moving along. All right. What are we working on exactly? Yeah, so I think we've given up on the big roads, but let's keep those. Let's see, how are we doing? Once we see some, the covers. I think I'm going to try to find another modded one. Yeah, I don't see any trucks in there. All our dump trucks are out, so I'm not going to assign any more of those roads. How do we do? How do we do over here? Yeah, see, we need to assign this one. That'll be good. That'll get us right up to there. So probably do the same thing. What's been working out for me is I play for, since it's been a week almost since I play this particular thing, it's been a good little review that I play for like a half hour or whatever I have time before I start. Yeah, so I've got you, a bunch of those trucks are probably coming up to here. Or they're all jammed up in here waiting for... Yeah, so there's a line of trucks waiting there. So it's been a nice little review for me to see, to get back into it before I actually go live each week to our little town. But we're making progress, and part of the whole reason for starting in the same place we started before is to see how we would do it different. And when I first started, I think I went right for like steel and coal up here. Super expensive, and I think I'm already, we're leaning more towards just do the oil and do this bauxite, so that's already somewhat different. What's not different is that we built a farm right here, and our town is still in the same place, but that was sort of the point there, and we didn't have any of these mods at that time. I don't think there was no modding when I first started Revergrad over here, so we didn't have this option for all this little stuff to help us get going in a hard place. But I think it's kind of weighed out in my opinion because things are a lot harder with wintertime and the seasons, and the pollution is a huge thing because I don't know if you remember, but I had a power plant right here and a coal mine that was right here, and then we had the distillery here or something like that. So we were just like surrounded with industry kind of thing, and all of this stuff. Instead of being over across the road here, all of that stuff was like right here. So when they turned pollution on, it like killed everybody pretty much immediately in old Revergrad. And that makes, each little thing makes it that much more challenging. No doubt. Let's see, how is our construction? Do we have some dump trucks back there yet? Nah. I think we're bringing out the stuff we need here. Oh, good. We just got done. Yeah, so now we need to bring some asphalt. Good. That'll be another thing connected. Like I said, I'd like to at least see this get going before we end today. What are you bringing? Oh, you're bringing boards to work on this. Oh, yeah, it needs quite a few boards, doesn't it? Too bad we're not making our own yet. All right. But we'll be there soon. Yeah, see, this is a problem. Yeah, this is why we have this and this, because until this guy leaves, these guys can't. So if the bus is there and people are trying to pick up, it just gets too hectic too quick. So this is just tying up one of our thing. Now we could just send this guy on his way, right? Why don't you go and let the dump truck do his thing, and you've got a half a load anyway. And how many people are here? Nothing. Probably buy another one of these trucks pretty shortly, huh? That guy was sitting there quite a while. Now we're probably not getting that many people either. What am I doing? I don't purchase resources. Buy a new vehicle. They're all the same speed. Usually bought this one. Yeah, this holds a lot less. Yeah, even though it's a lot more money, it does hold a lot more. There you go. So that'll ramp that up a little bit. And there, good. We got some... Good. We're going to get a little bit more production out of that. There we go. We have some logs. So now we just need to get this bus going. All right. Portsky bus stop. And I don't want to overwhelm things down here. We still don't even have anybody in this. This is just all going to take more people that we don't really have, but how is our demographics this year looking? There you go. Look at that. 60 babies, up from, well, I think, the 30 or so when we looked the last time. Our teenagers are not doing that great, but that's okay. They'll swell as soon as that swell of babies comes. So for a little bit into next episode, we might struggle a little bit, but our overall population is up. Let's see, all time. Is it at the all-time high? I think it will be. See how bad that hurt us? we were here over a year ago with this population growth, and we could buy more people if we really feel the need. I don't want to buy right before next weekend. We'll see what happens. Yeah, how is our crops doing that we've been selling directly to the... Yeah, see that? Look, we're still just full of crops. So even though, things aren't perfect. Now, what are you doing? Oh, why'd you stop there? Or you were unloading from there? You would think you would have backed in. Yeah, see, it's just too much to try to get all these crops off there. But we'll see. We're in September. We're taking more stuff off. We got... What did we do at the end of last one? Oh, we put another 2 of these on during last season. So we should be getting out there and getting things done quicker, which will give the trucks a little bit more of a chance. But we're doing fine as far as crops goes, which means we could be ready to start getting our meat thing going. I don't want to get too much going at once right now. Let's get our wood thing that's taken forever and a day. And then, speaking of getting things going, yeah, we got dump trucks sitting in here again. So I think we're past most of the gravel-like things needed here. So I don't think it'll be too bad to give him another one of the... Okay, so that's still assigned. Let's give him this one way over here. And this will get us right close to being able to build this construction office, right? Once that one's done, we can actually start building the road into it, which will be good. And once we have this construction office, we can make that a road construction office and start paving a good chunk of the way over to here, right? So what do we have? Oh, that's the bridge. Just wondering what those triangles were. Yeah, so we'll have to build that bridge. We'll probably end up with another construction office in this area, which will be good because that's sort of a pretty... This is, if you remember the last map, this is where New Revergrad was. The big city of Revergrad was in this plain up here. So I think that this is a relatively good position to... now that we're near this river, like we could head up in this direction in general. Otherwise, you have like this big mountain range that's kind of blocking you until you get all the way down here. Yeah, see, like you can go to the river over this way and then head that way. Of course, you could go through the mountain one way or the other, but our resources are limited when it comes to such things. But there we go. So we got that assigned. We still haven't. Yeah, it's just taken a while with the number of people we have. So it'll be good if I run the map up. You know, hopefully our population will increase. Like we only have 1% unemployed. Give you an idea. So that's good. And we're running out of money again. Let's go do that while I'm thinking of it. Yep, so we were at 55. We'll see, yeah, well, let's see. Let's borrow. All right, we were at 55 and now we're at 83. So that's like another 30 grand in the hole. All right. But what can you do? We have no other choice at this point. And so hopefully it'll slow down eventually, but a fair amount of it should be construction. You know, the most encouraging thing was that when we weren't building a whole lot, we actually got this to go. Look at that. This is when I first started playing, I didn't understand how important this was, but if you look, we are now producing 13,000 in value and only using like $5,000 or $7,000 in value, maybe $8,000 in value at the most, which is great because that means that even if we're not paying off the loans, even if we're going into debt, we're still being net positive in our economy. So that's just a very good thing, you know. Now that's only this month. We could look at last month, but still, say 24 to. That's very important. That's great to see that. That's where we needed to go to be. For me to feel a lot better about where we're heading. Because even if it means I have to sit there and leave this thing run for 8 hours to pay back some loans, that's a big thing. Good, so we're getting over there built. How are we doing here? Are we getting any closer? Yeah, we got people working on it. Now, are we actually producing anything? Oh, wait, you know what? We should... Well, should we specify? Yeah, because we probably don't want... Do we do it by this? Like, let's just turn down. Yeah, let's just have a maximum of 3 people go into there, and then I don't know. We'll leave the rest for now, but we might balance it out by limiting how many people get there. By the way, remember we put that tractor or that roller back in there? See, he went right back to work, and then he has another one up here to work on, right? Yep, good. And then we need to assign this. And that'll mean that we can get that. We'll get this truck out of the road so he doesn't clog anybody else up. Yeah, we need more buses to come up to here. But at least at this point the trucks are able to move and start bringing wood in here to get it processed, to get it sent back over to here. So there we go. Look, we got our own lumber. Hey, it's such a happy day when you start making all your own stuff, you know. What about here? Do we have? Oh, we have our own fuel. Nothing impressive there, but yeah. So I guess we should buy. Well, this one, I guess, should replace this, right? Yeah, I think what I should do is let's purchasing using dollars, right? Let's take off the boards. All right, so we're no longer going to purchase boards over here. We can use up whatever's left, I guess. And then I will... Do we want to purchase them here? Well, we could see we don't use a ton of boards. Hopefully we'll stay ahead of this. What I don't want to do is end up running out of boards and stopping my whole construction, right? So what is the minimum number that we... Not rubles. Can we purchase... Yeah, 14 tons. I know we could probably even wait until we have 14 tons in there so I don't purchase anything extra. Interest rates and inflation. Yeah, well, we just have to keep going at this point, you know. And actually, going into a lot of debt during a time of inflation is actually a good thing when you think about it, especially if you went into debt before the inflation. So, in other words, if you went and took out a whole bunch of loans, when inflation happens, the amount you have to pay back is less, right? Because you're going to earn more dollars in the present day, and that money you earned that you loaned back there is worth less. So it's actually good that we're running up debt if there's going to be inflation, if that makes sense. Like, in other words, you're better off borrowing that money and then using it on things when the money is worth more. That's what these governments are trying to do nowadays, right? They go into such hard debt that they have to have inflation or else they can't pay off their own loans. You know, like, it just, the only other way they could pay off their own loans is to have the population increase a whole lot where there's just more people to pay those loans off. So it's good that we're going into a lot of debt. I just don't like it personally, you know. Loans, what are the loans costing us? It almost doesn't matter to me, and I only say that because it's, let's see, where would I find out that? Not here, right? Does it tell us here? No. Amount due tomorrow. I don't really know. Where would we find out? Import and export costs. That's not that, right? I mean, they're not telling us the interest payment there. This is our domestic product, which is really not, even if it had it in there, it's not going to tell us there, I don't think. This doesn't really give us any specific. You know, it's 3.2%. I'm assuming per year, right? Interest rate, penalty. Yeah, so I mean, if you think about it, 3.2% of 750,000, 1% would be $1,000 a year. Or I'm sorry, $7,500 a year. So this is going to be like $21,000 a year, something like that. All right. But again, like, what other choice do I have at this point? I have no choice but to just keep borrowing money and moving forward. So yes, it's absolutely, you know, correct to think that we're not advancing that much. And again, I don't know. I don't really also understand exactly. The way they do the loan makes no sense. Like, it's just not how loans work. Like, where, you know, if, like, it just makes no sense that this would be a lower interest rate. They're doing something that's not understanding how people loan money and why. Like, maybe it makes sense to someone who doesn't understand finance, but you would never have a longer term loan that has twice the interest like this. Like, that just doesn't compute for me in a sense, you know. But I'm sure there's mathematics behind it, and I'm sure it makes logical sense somehow, but it's just a little weird the way they do that. But anyway, it's costing us 3.2% of 750,000 per year if they're doing the math the way I'm assuming loans should be done. But I don't know that because it's the surface of what they're doing there is a little bit odd. But maybe it's just the way they're presenting it and that it is done normally. Because then the other thing is, are they compounding it? Like, that's normally how it works, right? If you had a 5-year loan, it gets compounded. The first year you pay the certain percentage, but then, you know, depending on how much your payment is, it can go up or down, you know, at that point. Click on a taken loan. Okay. Paid amount $18,000 was what I paid, but I don't know that I've had it for a year yet, right? So it's, I don't know, time left. I've only had it for a few days, but that's the amount I've paid. Yeah, I didn't pay. So it doesn't really tell me. That doesn't tell me how much interest I've paid. It tells me the interest rate, but not the. That's the total paid. That's the amount borrowed, which is sort of reflected on this right here, right? Because there's only one loan. Yeah. Now I remember thinking about that when it first came out, and it's still just confusing to me. I think it's kind of standard that that happens in games. Programmers are wonderful and smart people. They don't necessarily understand how physics and finance works in all cases. Like, like the nuance of those things can, miss them. And yeah, no problem, Dennis. I mean, yeah, I just don't see. But again, it's 3.17% times. I don't have a calculator right here. Well, I guess I have my computer, but like it's probably in the neighborhood of 21,000 a year, which is a lot, right? So we need to get that down. But I just don't have a choice. Oh, look at this. Oh, I thought that was done. I caught it at the wrong angle. And how are we looking? I don't know why that's pinned. Yeah, we're getting there. Do we have trucks sitting in there doing nothing? No, I think they're running stuff up to a road. We don't have to have too many of these road projects going at once. I think we're done the road project on the other side, right? So we can let this one catch up. Let's take a look at our gravel. Yeah, look at our 98%. Everybody's happy as we go to end this episode. That'll be good. This live stream. Good. We're down to 400. That's not too bad considering that we paved these roads. No, we're not done that one either, are we? But we do have all the gravel. It's just a matter of time before that guy gets done. And then we'll have one more section before we can start on that. We got our power over here, which should be close enough. I don't know if it's going to be close enough to our city, but at least it'll cover this part of the city if anything ever goes over here. Might have to have more power down into there. And eventually we're going to have to start building a bigger power system. Running these little lines is going to hit its limits before too much more industry gets attached to them. Because look, already I've got quite a bit. When you think about it, I kind of did this wrong because I have a lot on this one line right here. Not even though the wattage is low, like because we have this gravel up there doing it. We're going to have all of this up there doing it, and then we're going to attach that whole area. So it might have been better to break into this other little one. But we'll have to balance that out at some point in the future. Now, is everything up here selected to go, right? Let's make sure. Yeah, we're just not getting many people, which is not surprising. Like I said, in between the episodes, that's going to be or before next week's live stream, I should say. That's going to be a great thing for us to do, for me to do. It's just to hopefully run our population up. We can always buy more people, but I don't know. It's sort of like the crops. I don't want to import crops either. I don't want to import people if I can avoid it. How are our crops doing? And we're definitely ahead of where we were because we've already got 3 fields taken care of. But we're just up against storage. We're just, to some degree, I think we're wasting a bit of effort on the fields there. We could probably be exporting a lot more crops. Yeah, that might be something to consider here, huh? Have these guys just drive off and, after they get done here, do we have them go to there and unload? And don't wait. All right, I think there's just one truck anyway. But hopefully that won't cause any issues. And then we'll do the same thing with... Oops. Don't we have a... I can't scroll. I thought we had a truck that was assigned to go back and forth. Did I take him off? Yeah, this guy's going right to... One of these two is going... Oh, there's 2 of 2. Okay, so I have 2 trucks that I'm sending right to the export from here. And I only have 1 truck. How are we getting grain to... Did I take this guy off and I didn't even notice? Yeah, that guy's waiting for alcohol to come out, so I don't even have a truck on this somehow. What do we do? Stop production back? Okay, hopefully that started back up again. All right, let's go get another... We're down to $200,000 or rubles. Oops. Alright, so I want you to go from here to here. Now, I know that we're getting balanced out with the road depot, but... Right, load, unload, unload. I know I don't even really have to do this, but it does make me feel like I'm... And then I usually, when it's going to the import, just unload anything. That way, it's just... even if there was ever anything on here, just sell it when you get there. But at least this tells me what that truck's doing at a quick glance. All right, there we go. So that's a little bit more crops even being sold. Probably be worth it in the long run. And again, we'll use those trucks somewhere. But we do have to watch it because we're running... I don't know, we're under 300,000, so we gotta keep... Can't just be buying vehicles with rubles forever. But again, we still have to get what we have to get things going, but we might need to be a little frugal. There we go, so we got some more wood, so let's do purchase. All right, 14 tons of boards with dollars. All right, so we purchased nothing, but that way we won't run out of wood just in case we have a big project. And then I turned the wood off here. Right, so I don't know if we're even going to use much of it up, but let's take our construction office. We can leave it sit there for now. We can always maybe haul the boards out of there rather than count on the construction office to... Right, there we go. So... Now we'll be self-sufficient on boards. Now, how about fuel? Fuel is really going up slow. You know, I want to buy a truck for it, but it's sort of a little bit pointless at this exact second. We'll do it anyway for the sake of it, especially for the sake of wrapping up. And nope, that's dollars. Oil tank. Yeah, I think by far and away from, you know, some of these are a little tiny bit faster, but nobody holds near. And then I think there's another one that comes along, but really trains is the way. But this cistern is... Oh, you know what? Let's start that guy. And then if those things are done paving, I can get that mixer back in there. So this cistern for now, I'm going to have come up here and wait. And then I just want you to go to our gas station, I guess. All right, do I want them to wait in the gas station? Yeah, just load up fuel and wait. Unload fuel and wait. That'll be fine. Sometimes it can get a little congested, but there is 4 spots there, so. All right, and then are we done paving those things? Yes, so let's go ahead and... Can we find that guy? I can never find things. Oh, there he is. Right. And then this guy. Let that guy get out of there first. All right. So eventually I'm going to take some trucks out and put them on those other places. But there we go. So we've gotten this at least semi-fired up. What is this guy with our pitch extraction? Will be another tanker truck, so we might as well go buy that, right? But I mean, we're eating into our money. All right, so that guy will have been purchased for doing our bitumen. Over here. How are we doing as far as... Yeah, we got 7 people on the site. Yeah, we'll need to haul some more stuff out to it. How are we doing on these roads? Oh, good. We're done that one. So let's... Can I click from here? Is that the right thing? No, this is. Look at that. Skills. There we go. So what else? So there's really just that pitch extraction. I mean, we'll have the tanks eventually, but let's worry about... We need to get more people before I'm even going to worry about those tanks. And as Dennis points out in a roundabout way of asking about, well, what's it costing you? Well, it's, you know, the more money we spend on things that aren't directly giving us income, the more interest we are paying, even if it's not, even if each little thing is not killer, it's definitely becomes an issue in the grand scheme of things if you're spending more and more money. So to get an idea, let's take a look again. Are we in? Yeah, we're in October, so we can see what September was like. We looked at August last time. So we were minus 4,000 total. And that probably has something to do with fuel. There we go with the fuel again. And the steel. Boards. Look, we bought a few boards, but now we're going to hopefully be making our boards. Right? Yeah, look, we got 37 tons of board, so that's good. That's, again, we're not going to, if we could just fill this thing up once, I think we'll never run it down, even with a small amount of production. What I'd really like to see ramping up is the amount of fuel that we're getting. How are we? Yeah, it's not overly impressive so far, but that's okay, right? Once this fills up, there'll be more wood to go. Oh, and here we go. We got... Is that all done? Yeah, so let's... Yeah, let's send him on his way. Right? And then we're going to add a stop. Load, wait. Logs, and then we're going to get rid of... that stop. Good. So now he'll pull into there. There's that much less congestion going in and out of here in case we ever have a problem. So yeah, now it's, I think, just really a matter of people. And like I said, I'll try to run them up. I was going to wait. Let's see, how close are we to this? We're... let's speed it up. We seem to be in pretty good shape with happiness and everything else. Once we get this done, then we'll call it quits for the day. But we'll have gotten this pretty much fired up. Yeah, we need to get the bitumen truck going. Yeah, we just need more people. Like if we could get more buses over there. Eventually we talk about tram. Could we get a tram? I'm trying to leave a space like right in here where we could get trains, because I'm picturing when we are ready for trains, you know, the train comes dipping down into here, picks people up somehow. So yeah, we kind of have an open space around this that I'm trying to leave. I didn't really talk about that too much or too often. But we could get a train dropping off people here, comes around, goes back up, could even drop people off here. You know, picture a train line that goes from here right on over, right across, right up this hill maybe. Over to our other town over here. But we want to get some more income before we start spending all that kind of money. That's for sure. Good, we got, look, 12 workers. That's a real good sign. How is our, let's take a look at our houses. How is our people doing? Nothing. Still nobody there. 70. 75, that's a good sign. I guess they might be plopping into these other houses. Let's do, just for the sake of it. Yeah, we got 11. I don't know if that was the smartest thing in the world to do, but all right, 59 people. I think that's enough. All right, but we'll have 38 here, which is going to give us 34 educated. So that should be plenty of educated people to run those 3 buildings. So I won't do that again. So if we can keep our population going, then eventually if we get it really going, I always do like to keep some of these populated because it just guarantees that they're going to be going to the school and the university and the hospital, and that just sort of keeps everybody a lot happier. What are we doing? Stop production again. Why do you keep stopping production? I think it's just because of people. All right, we're just not... I think if somebody comes in and snags them, then we're just... The more of these buses that we put on there, the more likely that this guy the little orange guys come in and just get nobody. Somebody pulls right in front of them because we really need more people. Eventually, these guys will help a lot because they can reach there. I'm pretty sure. I hope. Not. I need to make them a path that can they get. Yeah, they can get to that bus stop. 179, no problem. Though we should probably talk about repaving some of those little paths to be, especially as we get people further away, right? It's probably not a bad construction assignment, as a matter of fact. Definitely get that one built. Not too worried about the other ones. Yeah, we'll get this one built. But I'll do that in between the episodes, get a little bit more of that paved. We'll see how we do with just the... we've made a lot of progress. And it hasn't even been a year in the game, so... we've got this all paved. That'll be good for getting... Oh, look, and we got this. So do we want to just to save a few bucks? Let me take one of these guys and put him right there, right? So this is another technical office. So he should be plowing up this end, hopefully keep this relatively clear. Then we'll have 3 of them on here. Now, do we have another little one, I think? That's the gas station. Okay, let's... Do we have power there? Yeah, we have power. Let's give him a little fuel. Eventually, if we start making enough fuel, of course, we'll come up here. And there's the technical services, so I didn't assign that to be built. But we're getting on towards... I don't know if I want to really start that up, but I guess I will. We don't have to actually put a truck in there. It probably won't hurt to build it. Especially as we talk about getting this meat going soon, right? And it would be nice to keep this going better the whole year. Now, the only other thing, there's only gravel roads over here, but let's switch this guy to focus on the gravel roads. Though I don't know that he has much choice. His whole area is liable to be nothing but gravel roads at this point, so. But we'll do that nonetheless, so he doesn't end up over here, hopefully, plowing this. Stay on these gravel roads. A little bit of a waste to have those tanks, but they'll be going eventually. How are we getting? Are we getting there? We need more people. Here comes our bus. Or is that the bus that goes up to here? How's our fuel? Did our truck... No, didn't get filled up yet. 0.56. But that's going to be... At this point, that's slower than sin. Oh, there's our bus. Yeah, good. We got 4 people in there. Oh, now we have another function, or another final stage of putting steel into it. Yeah, so I think we're getting more prepared for winters. Our people are relatively happy. Our roads are getting paved or graveled anyway. How is our gravel doing? Down to 300. Yeah, so that's just fine. It's all gravel that we're not paying for. And I know gravel sounds like a dumb thing, but it really does end up costing you a lot of money. It's some years it's cost you more than steel. Like when you're laying out all these new roads, it really truly does cost you a lot. Maybe not per ton, but per how much you need. Good. This one's got almost all of its gravel now, right? Yeah, one more truckload. What do we have going on? Global market report. Going down. Okay, well, good, because we're going into winter soon here. And all right, good. That's the only message. All right, how are we doing on our road? Still working on it. Boy, we're going to be close. Yeah, we're very close. So let's get ready to... Oh, we lost our construction office. Yep, 99%. Done. All right, so I'm going to sign this. All right. So we might as well keep going if we're going to do all that. All right, so that'll at least get power up to here. I won't worry about that power until this construction office is built. Now this won't have much for supplies. What do we have here? Oh, that's gravel. So the reason for this is that as time goes on and we're trying to push this road further ahead, driving the gravel out here with some extra trucks and then letting the station take the gravel out, because we're going to be building roads and everything into here and all the way out there. So having a little gravel depot to save the construction vehicles from having to drive all the way back there can make some sense. And then of course we should talk about, is it more beneficial to build a whole little storage area out here, especially if you keep in mind that if we did it in such a way that in the future when we're making all the stuff, you know, we're going to be supplying our own. But even then, is it better to have it imported here and then drive it over to there ourselves, or is it better just to import it over there? It's a question I don't think I ever really fully resolved in my own mind. Wood pitch extraction, 91%. Only 2 workers, but we got the steel out there that we need. We got a crane on the job. That's good. Let's take a final look at our population as we... let's see. For this year, we'll be good, I think. Give us a good idea what's happened. Yeah, look at that. We're up at 300. So we now are pretty much at our all-time high. Just took us an extra year or 2 to get there, which is good. Now that we have 300, I think we're in most wonderful shape. As far as demographics, yeah, look, a nice baby population. Look at that versus the children. We're going to have an explosion to get ready for. I think it's very good that we built that house, because we're going to, like, yeah, we're just going to have a lot of kids. 75 babies, because they spend a third of the time or half the time. If it takes them 3 segments to get up to age 21, like from 0 to 7 is the babies, and then from 7 to 21 is twice as long. So you end up with, we're going to have like hundreds of teenagers in the near future here. That's what I'm trying to get at. So that's good. That's what we want, right? Our educated, look at that. We're making our own educated, no doubt about it. That's very nice. Education in general is on the way up. That's perfect. The fact that we have 96 is, and that number is less than our children, you know, like that's coming from the fact we have so many babies get counted in that. Right, so that's great. We're educating the heck out of them now. As far as them getting electronics, yeah, we're importing all that stuff, so we just sort of have to do that to keep them happy at this point. And then speaking of happy, yeah, the loyalty really hasn't gone up. So we should, this will probably, should I, you know, start working on this? Let's just get this pitch extraction. There we go. 5 days. Hey. All right, so we're not turning this down. Let's I would rather have fuel than bitumen. Yeah, let's just put for now both of these on 5. Maybe put this one on 10, right? So if we ever do get more people. Now that bus drops off how many? Is this the bus? 50, right? Yeah, this is the bus. Yeah, 52. So let's make it so that those 52 have some place to go. All right, so there's 3. We hardly even count that. Let's do 30 there and 20 here, right? So if there ever for some reason was a bus that was completely full of people, I think that this would balance out a little bit anyway. Hopefully these two don't steal people from this one. It tends to be pretty random where they go when you do it this way. So 3 in-game years. That's sort of what I remember. I agree. And so in this first year, when you think about it, we're going to have 80 people. Let's say we keep that birth rate up. Right? If we keep the birth rate up of, now we have 83, right? So we're going to have like 80 kids coming into that next set, that next year in a sense. And then we're going to have 80 more the year after that. So before you know it, we're going to have, 150, 180 children of 17 to 21 age. We just have to get ready for that. And that'll be great. We need more productive age workers, right? That's not a good balance that we have right now. You don't want half of your workers or half of your people to be under 21, like we've got a large percentage of our population is under 21 at this point. So, but hey, it's better than not having that, right? But in the long run, that's not a good ratio to have. So we don't want it, because then you get these population explosions and they can be their own kind of mess. And in some ways, it's good that we got all of this built and our population is still low, right? Because we are spending less money. These people do cost us money if we're not, if we're not using them, if there's too many unemployed or whatever, that's an issue as well. But that's not our problem for now. Do we ever get anybody into here? No. All right. I just want to see a little bit of bitumen, then I'm going to call yep, there we go, a little bit of bitumen. So let's make it official by, we didn't give this guy a job. So you're going to come here. Yeah, this is a pain. This is a bit of an issue. I should look for, has anybody made a asphalt plant that, yeah, you know what, I think the resolve to this is, we'll sell off whatever excess bitumen, even though this is not the best way to do it. Right, unload anything. The problem is this has only one stop, right? So, and it doesn't even have like I don't think they have a road connection to it either. So you can't even put if I'm remembering right, you can't even put a thing in there. Let me finish one thought before I jump to the next 3. All right, so we'll have you wait to fill with bitumen. All right, let's just go confirm I don't want to say something that's... Yeah, see, they don't have like a road cargo connection to this, but let's see. Can't really see how many parking spaces that one has. Does it tell me on the... Yeah, you know what? We probably should have built this one, huh? Because this one has, if you see it right down there towards the bottom, station for vehicle loading, 2. Yeah. Well, live and learn. It's okay. Yeah, see, a lot of these, 3 of these have 2 spots. That's asphalt mixture V2. Looks like a nice little tiny... What do they cost in comparison? Yeah, look, this thing's 40 steel anyway. These things are, I don't know, maybe even a little bit too cheap. But that one's 74, though. That's kind of... Yeah, that holds a lot more. Now, the other thing they could do is hold more... Yeah, see, the fact that holds more is nice, too. See, this one holds 3.5. Does it have a road connection? No, it's a little tiny thing. Yeah, that's a little... I don't know. I mean, I guess that would work. But, I mean, in my experience, asphalt plants are kind of a huge thing. They're not usually a little tiny thing. Though I imagine it's not impossible, because I have heard of like machines that will tear up the road and then just like remake it. Like they're massively expensive, but they literally just like go down the road, pull up the surface, re-put the bitumen in the asphalt, and then lay the road back down, like as it goes. It's pretty darn impressive when you think about it. So, but there we go. We have gotten our little wood thing going. I mean, is the way I would describe it at this point. But I don't think we can do too much more until we get a little bit more wood. And in order to get a little bit more wood, we need to get a few more workers. Probably get another truck going here too, huh? Oh, I keep clicking that wrong button. There we go. So now we got 3 trucks on the job. We don't seem to be backing up too much at this point. Right, so we'll see how that goes. That'll get going as much as it can. Oh, and here comes the snow. The joy of winter. How did we make out? Let's take a loan out. Got everything going on at once. All right, let's see, just so you guys can see right as we end. Yeah, amount owed, 603. So we went up another 20,000 into debt. Oh, 601. Yep, so that's a problem. But we'll keep plowing ahead until we can't afford it anymore, right? Got another kind of train. Prices of iron are going up. That's no good. New vehicle. Oh, we got another little tractor. I'll have to check that out. Good. Well, there you go, guys. Let me slow it down at least as we end here. And we'll be letting our population grow. Hopefully our snow plowing will go a little bit better. Seems like it's been working out that I spend the winter and then we come back for the live stream in the next spring, which I guess is kind of good. See, it's going to be awful tough to get work done all the way out here now that we're into the winter, which is why we build this? I did assign this at least, right? Yes, so this is assigned to be built, so that'll help push that out further, I hope. Get another technical office going right there. And there we go. Look, this little technical office is doing its thing already. Hopefully it'll keep this area kind of free, keep that industry going. And then this guy has, he stole one of his trucks to do that, but, we'll see what happens there. And I got a bunch of construction going. We got our secret police that when time comes, I will assign that. That'll help keep our loyalty up a little bit more, but I really don't have enough people. Let's see. And we're not having a huge loyalty issue at this exact moment. It's not good, but doesn't seem to be causing us any problems to be where it's at. So we'll assume that we're kind of okay without the secret police for a few minutes. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope to see you back again next weekend. Again, I'm going to stop promising that I'm going to make it during the week because I just haven't been able to do that. Or the time I do have, it's just tough to get this going. It takes, like I said before, 2 or 3 or 4 hours of your day, and it's just hard for me to get that at this point during the middle of the week. But again, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you back. And we'll do a little bit more. Hopefully we'll get our bauxite or our oil going, or both, or at least get these towns laid out, right? We'll start figuring out exactly what we want to do in the next episode as far as oil. We'll have enough construction stuff started. Maybe that's what I'll try to focus on, of course, is we'll get these construction offices going on either end. Or maybe we need another gravel thing out this way will help. Probably wouldn't hurt, would it? Another storage area for construction. That'll help push us out further. And then one day we'll even have helicopters, right? We could do helicopter construction far away, but that's a dream for another day. Well, there we go. I don't know if you have any final comments. Thanks, Steve. Good to see you. Glad you caught the live stream. And all of you guys, thank you. Radomir, I don't know if Matt's here, Potato Head, Dennis. I definitely appreciate it, and I had fun. right, guys, I'm signing out. Have a good week. I'll talk to you next weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.